So welcome back, guys, and we were talking about the framework designing approaches. In the previous session, we have seen that what is mean by framework and what are all different things we have to think upon while designing the framework. And then we have seen different approaches of the framework available in the market. And most famous of them is keyword-driven framework. High keyword-driven framework is there. Then behavior driven development is there, data driven development is there, page object model is there, but it's not a framework. Okay, it is not a framework, it is just a design strategy. Then robot is the framework that we have. Then hybrid framework we have. Hybrid framework is mixture of each and every frameworks available all together. So this is what we have discussed in the previous session. So what we are going to discuss today. Okay, so in the previous session we have started designing a framework right from the scratch, where we have created only two classes. So let me show you that what was those classes. So we have created two different packages over here, keywords and test cases. Under test cases, I have created a regression package. Under regression package, I have created a class which will contain the test cases like this. Okay. Then inside keywords package, I have created three different classes over here. First class is for API keywords. Second is for general keywords, web keywords. And third one is the constants that I'm going to use for my entire framework. So constants are simply the variables of different types like file input stream, properties, and for Excel file reading, if you are using Apache POI, then XSF workbook and HSSF workbook and sheet and everything. So those things I'm going to keep in this constants class. So in the keyword class, we have designed two keywords so far. Okay, so let me show you the code so that you guys can have a revision. Okay, perfect. So first keyword that we have designed is open browser, and this takes browser name as a parameter. And after taking the parameter name, it decides which browser need to be invoked. Okay, now I'm going to tell you the basic coding standards also in between the session. Okay, so the first thing we need to remember is whenever we are writing a framework, we are designing a framework, then it is an ideal practice to write the comments over here. Okay, in comments, do not forget to mention test project name. Okay, project name, that is test automation framework. Okay, test automation framework. Second thing, do not forget to mention that is author. Okay, here author is for example Avinash Pingle for testing Shastra. Okay, client, you need to mention if you have any client. Organization, whatever organization you belong to. Okay, so I'm belonging to testing Shastra. That's it. So organization is testing Shastra, author is Avinash Pingle, and he is writing a test automation framework for testing Shastra. So client, sorry, a typo here. Okay, client, name of client. Okay, maybe friends. Okay, so this is the kind of template you can use for each and every class. Okay, now remember, whenever you use any kind of constructor or methods of any class, then you should encounter with such kind of suggestions or information about the methods. Okay, so let me show you. If I hover on this get method, you are going to see this description over here. This element has no attached Java doc. Why? Because we don't have the Selenium source attached. Okay, but if we have Selenium source attached, then we could have seen the detail about this method, get method. Okay, so let me show you by attaching the source code of Selenium. So simply right click. Okay, not right click actually. So please guys, do not type in between. Okay. Okay, guys, perfect. Now see, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to just open the declaration of this method, get method, and change attached source. And I'm going to change this attached source from downloads directory to the personal directory that I have. And jars, inside jars, Selenium master should be there. Yeah, this is the file. Open. Okay, that's it. Now let's see that whether we can see the description or not. Okay, so if I hover on this method, now I can see the proper description of this method, what kind of parameter this method takes, and what kind of return type this method is having, which class this method belongs, what is the package, okay, to which this method's class belonging, what are the different parameters this method is taking. So you can see all of the description over here. Why? Because Selenium people have written their code in such a way that it should be very informative for the people who are using them. So let's say I'm calling this method, I'm using this get method, which is written by the Selenium. Okay, so Selenium's responsibility is to write the proper understanding and code, understanding and information about this method. So why don't we write the information for our method so that our automation tester, whenever he will use our methods, okay, in that case he should also see this kind of descriptions. But let's say if I'm calling this method, which method, open URL method, from this test cases, right now you cannot see any kind of description over here. Can you see? There is no description at all. So I have to create that description. So how you can create the description? So simply hit the backward slash and then asterisk and one more asterisk and then enter. That's it. So this will allow us to write some information about this method. So I'm going to write some single line or multi-line definition as required. So I'm going to introduce this method. Okay. It opens the specified URL in web browser recently opened by driver instance. Okay. And then what kind of parameter is taking? String. So this is the code. Okay, so remember how to write the codes. Simply you have to write code over here and then string, and that's it. So string URL to open. So this is the description that I have written for my method, and it returns nothing. So I'm going to write return. Okay, so at the rate, let's say return void. Okay, it just returns void. So that's it. So this is how I can specify the information for my methods, keyword methods that I have written. Now let's go over here in the test case and just hover on this. So can you see now? They are very professional. They sound very professional and very informative for the people who are using them. So it opens the specified URL in web browser recently opened by driver instance. Parameters URL string. Can you see the string font is changed over here? Why? Because it is a code. So string is a Java reserved keyword. That is why I have written it under the code. String URL to open. Returns void. So this is how you can make your keywords informative. So here what I need to do is I need to write some more uh, details about my method. Opens a web, opens specified web browser, opens specified web browser. So parameter is browser name. Okay, string browser name and browser. So here we can mention browser name should only include Chrome, Firefox, and then maybe IE, okay, IE, and then what we have is HTML unit again. Okay, where is the method? This is the method. Okay, IE, and then, oh sorry, HTML unit, we didn't copy it. Hope, okay, it's because of the window and Mac when you use both of them. Okay, then Safari, okay, no browser name apart from mentioned is allowed. Okay, so this is what we are going to tell about the parameter. Okay, and it returns nothing, so we are going to skip that part for now. So if I hover on this open browser method, I can see opens specified web browser. Okay, opens specified web browser, and then here we should not give the full stop. Okay, then browser name should only include Chrome, Firefox, okay, IE, HTML unit, Safari. No browser name apart from mentioned is allowed. So this is how we can make our program more informative. That's it. Okay, now it will give a proper messaging. That's it. Browser name should only include Chrome, Firefox, IE, HTML unit, Safari. No browser name apart from mentioned is allowed. So this is how we are going to notify the automation tester that how my keyword is going to behave. So this is a very simple and effective and recommended trick to use. So you should not write any keyword without having a proper information for it. Now let's create few more keywords. Okay, let's say I want to enter text into some field, so I need to give the name of my keyword very simply. They should be simple enough. They should notify the correct action that they are going to perform. So here I like write general text like enter text. Okay, this is the keyword that I'm going to design over here, and I'm going to mark this as public. Okay, public static enter text. Now I want to enter the text specified over here in particular web element. Okay, now here the tricky part comes in a picture. So let us understand and let us imagine that you are going to give your framework to a guy who doesn't know programming. He just knows how to call the methods, how to pass the parameter to the methods. That's it. He knows. He doesn't know anything about Java. He's not a master in Java. He doesn't know anything about the Selenium. He's not a master of Selenium. Then now you want to enter a text into a web element, right? For the web element, he have to write the XPath or maybe IDE or maybe CSS or something else he have to find, right? But he doesn't know Selenium. Then being an architecture, it's your responsibility to write a method in such a way that it should help the automation tester who doesn't know programming. Now understand my point clearly over here, what I want to say. So I am willing to design a method as easy as it can be used by a fresher guy also. Okay, so here enter text method, what kind of parameters it will take, I have to think upon that. So framework designing is all about thinking process. So how you are binding up your knowledge, logic, how you are binding up your requirements all together, and how you are solving the problem. So here enter text keyword I want to design, but I don't want to write it like this. For example, web element, and then maybe string text to enter. Okay, so let's import this. Okay, I don't want to write my method like this. Why? Because whenever I'm going to call this method, so let's call this method from the keyword. Sorry. Okay, from the keyword class, I'm going to call this method, and that is enter text. Here it is asking for the web element, and the guy who is calling this method doesn't know about the web element, what kind of data type it is, and how to write it. He doesn't know anything about it. Now I have to adjust all of these things at my end. So what I will ask him to enter is, let's say, string locator type. Okay, first parameter I'm going to ask him, then string, sorry, locator value. Okay, that's it. These are the three parameters I'm going to ask him. So first parameter I'll ask him is locator type, that what kind of locator you have, whether it is ID, whether it is CSS selector, whether it is XPath, whether it is ID, partial text, link text, CSS, and so on. Okay, and what is the value of that locator? ID equal to 1 to 3, let's say. CSS selector maybe dot slash something something, and the text that he wants to enter. These are the three parameters I'm going to take from him. Okay, so from here what he will do is he will simply provide, let's say, XPath. Okay, first parameter, that is locator type. Then locator value, maybe let us open the Facebook page for our instance. So Mark Zuckerberg should not ask for the royalty from me for using his website. So let me quickly sign this out. A hero is coming in front of me. So I don't want Facebook to show notifications. Okay guys, perfect. So let me close this up. I don't want to show my photo to everybody. Okay, it is not that good. Okay, so this is the form that we have, and let me clear this up. Everything. So we have several text fields over here. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for all of these text fields, I'm going to create a very general method, unique method, which should be applicable for each and everything. So let us say I want to type in something over here in this text box. So for that, obviously I need to find the locator for this, and let us write a locator for this, and its ID is email. So let's find it by ID. That is email. So is it unique? Yes, it is unique. So this is the locator that he is supposed to pass. You might be your mind might be flooded with questions. Okay, what I said previously is the guy should not write the web element over here, so he should not write the driver dot find element by dot xpath or so and so he should not write like that. But still I am asking him to find the XPath. Okay, but keep this question in your mind as it is, because I'm going to give the solution for this also. Okay, now I need to provide the text to enter. Okay, so let's say I want to provide some text over here, and I'm going to provide test email dot @gmail.com. So this is the value that I'm going to provide to this method. So let us see that what is the problem. Okay, comma is missing. Perfect. So these are the three parameters this method is going to take. Okay, after taking the parameters, what this method is going to do. Okay, so this method should identify that what kind of locator it is. Okay, on basis of that we are going to apply the switch case. Again, believe me, switch case is my favorite one, and you won't have switch case in Python, so that is why I don't like Python. Okay, so locator type we have to specify over here, and in front of case we have to use locator value. Sorry, not locator value, but the different locators that I'm looking for. Okay, first I'm looking for XPath. Okay, if it is XPath, then what I'm going to do is constants dot driver. This has been initialized by the open browser method. Okay, this driver instance is initialized by open browser method. That is why I'm directly writing over here driver dot find element by dot XPath, and inside this XPath what I need to write is locator value. Okay, locator value, that's it. And then dot send keys. This is the method of Selenium. Here I need to pass text to enter. So this is where the parameterization comes in picture. That is a pretty good solution now that we have. Perfect. If the locator type is XPath, then it is going to be find like this. Okay, and then it will send the keys to that particular web element. But what if it is CSS? Okay, so I'm going to write it in an abbreviation kind of thing. Constants dot driver dot find element and by dot CSS selector, and then the locator value again, locator value, and then dot send keys. Now next is the some mechanical stuff we need to do. That is simply copying and pasting. Okay, now let us write a break. Whenever you feel that your program is not, you're not writing your program in a proper way, let's say I'm writing it like this, okay, and it is scattered all the way and it is kind of messy, then obviously what you can do is you can control shift F if you are in window, okay, otherwise command shift F if you are working on a Mac. Then id constants dot driver dot find element by dot id, and then again locator value, and then dot send keys and text to enter. That's it. This is for the id. Again we have to break it. After breaking, let's go for the next one, maybe link text. Okay, and here what I'm going to write is, so I'm not wasting my time in writing the methods, so I'll simply copy this and paste this over here. So instead of id, what I'm going to write is link text. That's it. So let me write down the break, and then again the next locator, that is partial link text. Again I'm going to do some copy paste work, and instead of id I'm going to write a partial link text. Perfect. So XPath CSS id, so kindly turn off your video. Okay, then again we have to write a break statement out here, and again one more case for next locator. Okay, XPath CSS id link text class name, let's say class, and we are going to paste this line up here. Instead of id, let's change it to class name, and the class name I don't want to mention, I want to parameterize them. That's it. Again a break statement. Okay, and in the default what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a print statement that is invalid locator type. So this is our responsibility. If someone is giving some wrong input, we have to give the error message to them. So this is the very standard approach and recommended approach to design the framework. So we should think for each and everything. It should be informative. It should not mislead the people at all. Okay. Now observe that what kind of input we have given over here. This is XPath in small letters, CSS in all capital letters, ID in all small letters, link text in camel case. So we are not following the naming conventions over here, and switch case will look for the exact matches. Okay, so the strings are going to be compared on basis of cases also. If the cases are not going to match, let's say I'm going to pass like this from here, so it will say that it is invalid locator. Okay, so what we need to do is either we should make all of them as capital, okay, so that it will bring a uniqueness, okay, in your entire program, And when you feel that there are multiple words, you can make obviously the underscore signs up here. And then again, class name. That's it. So this is how you are going to simplify the process of designing them, so that whenever a guy will write the locator type, he will give in capitals only. That's it. So this is the method that we have created. Now it's time to test this method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute this. Okay. Also, I'm going to put some password here. Okay. So let me find the locator of this. Input ID is pass. Sorry, pass. And it is unique, so I'm using it. So it is not a it is not XPath. Okay, it is CSS selector. So what I need to write here is CSS. Okay, CSS. That's it. And let's call this same method once again. And this is the advantage of having framework over here. The same method can be used for different types also, different fields also. So value is this, and text editor, text to enter is, let's say, test @123. So this is the password that I want to enter. That's it. This is the simple test case I want to write using my framework. This is the keyword driven framework that we are designing. Okay, so don't get confused. So we are working on the keyword driven framework only. So this is the test case that we have written to test our framework, whether it is working properly or not. So let me execute this one. So for the time being, I'm not writing the information to the methods or comments to the methods. Okay, but if you guys are using it, I will recommend to write the comments for each and every method. Can you see that is working? So I didn't type anything. Okay, believe me, because you cannot see me, and you might say that you are typing from your end and you're saying that this is automation. Okay, but believe me, I didn't type anything. Okay, so let us test our framework for the negative kind of scenarios. Let's say I'm going to give this a small over here, small here also. Now let's say what happens. Let's see what happens. So you should test your test automation framework, okay, while designing it. That is what the unit testing comes in picture. So developers also do the same stuff. Can you see no email ID has been typed, no password has been typed? Why? What is the problem? Let's see. Can you see? Invalid locator type. Okay, again invalid locator type, and test case is passing still. Why it is passing? Because answer to this question is in the videos of TestNG that we have uploaded. Okay, so we are not going to cover that up here. So we should give our message little more informative, and here I'm going to write locator type. Okay, expected. What expected? These are expected. Let's say these are the expected values, and then maybe XPath ID link text partial link text, and then again the next one that we have is class name. That's it. Now let's execute this one more time. So let me close this, close the browsers. Perfect. Let's execute this now. Can you see? Nothing happened. Okay, now let us see what is the problem. Now, can you see the error log over here? Invalid locator type, that is CSS. Expected CSS, XPath ID, link text, and so on. Okay, so from this message, from this error message, obviously automation tester will have a correct idea where the problem is. Okay, and he can rectify that problem. So this is how you need to make your messages more informative. But can you see this is the error? So instead of out, we need to write ERR so that they will come up in the red color. Right now they are in the black color, so you cannot isolate them from the normal messages. Okay, so let me write down message. Opening Chrome browser. Okay, then here one more message will give URL. Okay, which URL? This URL entered, or maybe we will say URL plus is loading. Okay, these are the messages, okay, that we want to give. But whenever a default will call, it is an error, so we are going to print it like this, ERR. Here also, instead of out, we will write ERR, error, invalid browser name. So this is how we can make our framework more informative. So let us give this correct this time. That's it. Okay, perfect. But let me, for the sake of demo, that we have just made the changes. Okay, for those changes, we are going to see that how our output is going to look like. Okay, can you see over here? Facebook.com is loading. Can you see? And now this is coming in a red color. Now you can isolate between the correct messages and the error messages. That's it. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's make one more keyword. Now this time my requirement is to click on this login button. So to click, I don't have any keyword right now. Okay, so I have to create a keyword for that. So how can I create the keyword? So simply go here and click on element. Why I'm not writing it as click on button? Because this method should be used for button as well as for link as well as for images and so on. Okay, that is why I'm writing this method more generic and not the specific kind of. Public static, click on element, and then what kind of element? So we are again going to ask for the locator type, string locator value, and we are going to click only, so we don't want the third argument to be here. So what we will do is, again, what we are going to write is switch case. Okay, inside switch case, what we are going to write? Locator type. Then again we will write over here XPath. Okay, if it is XPath, then what we are going to do is constants dot driver dot find element by dot XPath, XPath and locator value, and then dot click. That's it. So this is the method. Now we need to create for another locators like ID, constants dot driver dot find element by dot ID, locator value, and then dot click. Okay, then need to write a break statement, then again next case. But observe over here what is happening. Okay, The same thing we already have written here in this method, that is enter text. And the same stuff we are writing over here. The difference is of only one method. That is, here we are using click method, whereas here we are using the same case method. Now remember this point. What we are doing is we are writing the duplicate stuffs, okay? And here we need to avoid the duplication. So we should not write more line of codes, okay? So whenever we feel that we are writing the stuffs again and again and again, then simply do nothing, just go and create a separate method, okay? So what I'll do is I'll create a separate method. Can you see this part is common? Okay, in this method, what was the method? Enter text method and click method. This part is common from constants.driver.find element. So till find element method, this part is common. Only part is changing, that is click method and send case method. Okay, so we will move out the common part in some separate method. Now we need to have a very good observation power. We need to have a very good understanding of the Java here and the logic also. Okay, now understand that find element method's return type is web element. Okay, and inside web element interface we have these methods click, send keys, and so on. Now what we can do is we can create a separate method, and I will give a name to this method, like let's say let's create this method over here, and I will call this method as get web element. Okay, get web element. Again, this is public static method I'm going to create. Okay, now what I'll pass to this method is again string locator type and then string locator value. Okay, these are the only two parameters I'm going to pass to this method. Now what this method will return, this method will return the web element. Okay, this method will return the web element. Here I'm going to put this logic, entire logic. So let's copy this and paste this over here. So instead of calling the send keys method, which is I'm going to remove from here, I'll just call the find elements method. That's it. And find element method is going to return web element instance to us. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a web element here, web element instance here, and its initial value is null. Sorry. Okay, that's it. And here I'm going to write element is equals to, that's it. Again, element is equals to, again, element is equals to. Okay, so semicolons are missing. Okay, and then again, element is equal to, again, element is equals to, again here element is equals to. That's it. Okay, now can you see the method is prepared, and now we are saving whatever element is find by this method. We are saving that element into element variable, and this variable's type is web element, and I'm going to return this element now. So return element. That's it. The complete method is created now. Can you see? Now internally I can use this method whenever I require them. So instead of writing this logic again here, what I'm going to write is I'm going to simply delete everything from this method, enter text method, can you see? And I'll just call get web element method over here, get web element. I'm going to pass locator type, locator value, and then dot send keys. Now I can call this method. And here I need to pass text to enter. That's it. That is pretty easy now. Okay, in a single line, our program is converted. Okay, now let's replace this entire code also where we want to click on particular web element. So again, we can say, we can call this method get web element, locator type, locator value we will pass, and then we will call click method. Sorry, click method. That's it. So this is how we can reduce the line of code. Now, can you imagine how much line of codes we have saved here? Okay, either we could have write the entire switch statement over here, again here, maybe in the next keyword also, maybe in the next keyword also, whoever wants the web element. Okay, so we have replaced all of the duplicate stuffs and we have made them in a separate method. So what I wanted to tell you throughout this session was is, do not, let your code be duplicate at some point. So whenever you feel that these stuffs are going to be duplicate in the coming future, so quickly go and create a new method. Inside that method, paste your code which you feel that it will get repeated. So simply create a method and use that method whenever you feel. But this is a part of experience. So for that, I will not say that after completion of my course you are going to design the framework, and I'm also not telling you that even after sitting for hours you cannot design the framework. I'm just saying that spend a quality time on designing the framework. Okay, watch the videos, chat with your friends. We have a WhatsApp group. You can post your queries in the WhatsApp group. Post your queries. Try writing the keywords on your own for the framework, for the project that you guys are working on. Look at the project. What are the needs of the project? What kind of frameworks? What kind of keywords are required for your project? You have to observe everything all around and then come up with some solution. So here, how you are going to write a method, it is not a standard way to tell, but how you can avoid the duplicate elements or duplicacy in your entire framework. That is what I'm trying to tell you people over here. Okay. Now, this is how we have reduced the line of codes over here. Okay. So I hope how we can segregate the code page wise. Okay, that is test case wise. So I'll answer this question shortly. So please have a patience. Okay, so this is how I have designed the enter text keyword as well as click on element keyword. Now let us write the end-to-end test case where I'm going to enter the text as well as I'm going to click on that particular login button. Click on element. So here I need to pass the locator type and locator value. So what is the locator type? For that, I need to go over here, inspect the element. So guys, this is not a tried and tested assignment at all. So there may get some issues while executing. So its ID is u_0_8, but I suggest do not use it. Why? Let me show you. So let me refresh this page one more time. Okay. Now ID is u08. Okay, remember. Let's refresh it one more time. Refresh it one more time. And one more time. Now can you see? ID is changed to u02. Previously it was u08. Now it is u02. ID is changing over here. Why? Because Facebook people have designed this using the Angular. Okay, so you may encounter such kind of situations in your project. So do not use the ID. Most of the time, avoid it. When your project is stable, it is not changing, new builds are not getting deployed. In that case, you can use the ID. But rest of the time, it is suggested to go for the XPath or CSS selector. So here I'm going to find something which is unique. Let's say login, and it is the input tag having value equal to login. So I'm going to write a XPath for this. This is the login, and at the rate value is equals to. So how to write a XPath that we have already seen in the previous tutorials. So tag name is not login, it's label or input, I guess. input. That's it. Can you see it is highlighting the correct element and it is unique. So let's copy this. So locator type is again XPath. Locator value is this one. That's it. After clicking, it will obviously try to log in to the page, but it will not. So let's execute this test case. Perfect. So it is launching the browser, it is opening the URL, it is typing the email, it is typing the password, it have clicked on the login button, and this window we have encountered with. Okay, so far we have designed a keyword to enter text into any kind of text box. Believe me, this method will work. This enter text method will work for any kind of element, whether it is text box, whether it is text area, doesn't matter at all. Next keyword we are going to design for the next element that we have on the page. Okay, and what is the element? So can you see over here, we have this drop downs, 3 drop downs we have. Now click method will work for these radio buttons also. Okay, click will work on this sign up also. Click on element method will work for this link also, for this link also, for this link also, for this link also. Okay, but we have to handle this this drop downs now. For that we have to create a method again. So let us create a method. So we need to give a name as simple as it could be understandable by each and everyone who doesn't belongs to the programming also. So I'll say maybe select value from drop down. Okay, this is the method that I'm going to create. I'm going to write this method as public. Now people, the get web element method I have made as public. Okay, but I don't want it to be accessed outside of my class, because this is private method of my class. This is internally being used by the keywords. Okay guys, that's it. So select a value from drop down. Now we have to ask locator type, again locator type, then maybe string locator value, and then string value to select, or maybe text to select, text to select. So these are the three parameters I'm going to pass. Now for this I need to use the select class. Okay, select class. So I'm going to create an instance of this. Okay, to this select class what we need to give is we need to give the web element instance. Okay, it is coming from the SOAP UI. We don't want it from the SOAP UI. So while importing, we should be very careful. So this is the select class that we don't want. Okay, so first let us get the web element first. Get web element, get web element, and to this we are going to pass the locator type, locator value. That's it. So it will return web element to us, and we are going to save it. That's it. Next task is let's create an instance of select class. So let's import this one. From Selenium's package, select, okay, and then we are going to pass this element over here. That's it. Now let's call the method of select class, select by visible text. Okay, and what is the text that we want? That is text to select. That's it. Pretty simple and easy. Okay, so we have created this keyword, select value from drop down. Now let's try to do that. Okay, so I'm not going to click. Before clicking, what going to do is I'm going to select some values from these all three drop downs. So let's say I'm going to select something from here, and this is the select tag. Remember this point: whenever you are using the select class of Selenium, make sure that this drop down is designed using the select class, because in today's era most of the drop downs are not designed using the select class. They are simple web elements. So make sure they are designed by select class only. If they are not designed using select tag, then obviously the code that we have written will not work. So this is the select tag we are interested in, and its name is birthday. Can you see? Birthday is the name. So let's write XPath for this. Select tag at the rate name is equals to birthday. This is unique. Let's copy this, go here, and let's write a keyword dot select. So we haven't made it public. Okay, it is not static. Perfect. And then go here again, dot select value from drop down. Now look at the type, look at our value we have to pass. XPath, and then the locator value. Okay, and text that we want to select. So let's say my birthday is 2nd. Okay, now same method I'm going to call to select the month from this drop down. So let's select the month, and the month is MAR. Okay, keyword, sorry, keyword dot select value from drop down, again XPath, and let's write down the locator for this. So this is the select class. We have to take a locator of this birthday month. That's it. It is unique. So let's copy this, go here, paste it up here, and the text that I want to select is Mar. Okay, and then let's write this for the year this time. XPath, and then locator, and then text maybe 1987. So let us go over here on the year, and it is saying birthday year. Name is birthday year, so I'm going to replace this one here. Perfect. Okay, give this locator up here. Perfect. Can you see a single method is used to select all the values from the drop down? That's it. Now let's execute this and let's observe that what kind of output is giving to us. So guys, keep your questions prepared. So we are going to answer them shortly. So just typed everything, but it didn't have selected anything from this input boxes up here. So let us see what is the problem. So let's go over here, and unsupported operation exception. You may only deselect options of multi-select. So which one is the multi-select? Again here. Okay, this is not a multi-select box. So let us see what kind of code we have written. So it is saying that you cannot use this. Okay, we have called this deselect method. deselecting. It is select by visible text. Okay, it was a typo. So let me execute it once again. Browser is invoked. URL is typed. Loaded. Done. So still it is not selecting the values from dropdown. Now let us see what is the problem. This time it is saying no such element. Okay, cannot locate element with text 0 2. Okay, so it is not finding the element by text 0 2. Why? Because day is not 0 2, it is only 2. Okay, and what we have passed here is 2. That's it. So let us execute this one more time. Yep, now it is selecting all the values. Can you see 2nd March 1987 have been selected from the drop downs. Okay, so this is how we have created the different keywords for the different web elements. Okay, same keywords you can create for getting the text from the web page. Okay, again you can create keywords to maximize the browser. Let's say maximize browser. This is the keyword that we can create. Okay, public static, and here what we can do is constants dot driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. That's it. So this will maximize your window. Let's say if you want to close your browser, then close browser, and to this method we are going to pass nothing because we are going to create the driver instance to be closed. Okay, constants dot driver dot close. So let's say we want to quit all the browsers, then we will say close all browsers. This is one more keyword that we have created, public static, and here constants dot driver dot quit. Okay, that's it. So these are all different keywords that we have created so far, and obviously we will keep on adding our keywords inside this keyword class as and when they are required. So we will see in the next session that how we can again minimize the programming efforts taken by your automation testers by including the files with our framework. So how we can maintain the object repository, how we can maintain the test data, how we can maintain the test results, and how we can maintain the different files. Because you have seen so far we haven't introduced any file in our framework so far. Okay, so we'll see that how files can be a savior for us during the framework designing and maintaining the ease of access, ease of use of your framework when it is being used by someone else in the group, in the team. Okay, so this is all for the day. If you guys have any questions, you can please ask the questions.